guys, Miss Zollmann here. Welcome to writing. So for writing over these next 2 weeks, we are going to be making a feature article. So I know when I first think of a feature article, I kind of think of like, oh, it's a way that somebody can tell me about the news. But this is actually not true. There's actually a difference between a feature article and say like a news article. So with the feature article, it's actually kind of a creative article that really can talk about a lot of different things. It could be certain events, but it could also just be different topics. Where a news article, it focuses more on just telling me about current events, about what's going on right now. You can see here, it answers the questions who, what, where, when, and how. Right? These are actually considered hard news, and this is not what we're going to be doing. We're not going to be focusing on issues going on right now. Instead, we're going to be focusing on, creative topics, things maybe that you guys enjoy a little bit more. It's written in a creative and engaging way, so they're fun to look at, they're fun to read, and sometimes it's to inform our reader about something, just to give them information. Other times it's to entertain them. So just something that's maybe funny or interesting. And then other times it could be to persuade them, so to get them to do something. And we want to consider these soft news. So to do this, we are going to have to do a little bit of research before we can, dive into actually creating our feature article. But I think once all said and done, you guys are going to create some really cool pieces that you're going to be proud of over these next 2 weeks. So just like on Canvas, we have the same ones posted, Miss B and I. We have an example up here. And this one, with Miss B and I, naturally is about dogs. So this is a feature article, all right? They're telling me about astonishing canines, really cool things that dogs have done or can do. So they gave us, a structure. They gave us some text features that really make this enjoyable to read, as opposed to maybe just reading something in the newspaper. So you might have heard me say text structure and text feature. So if you're confused, or if you maybe have forgotten what those look like, we also have posted on Canvas, different types of text structures. We've gone over these, but it's been a while. So they can be written, in a narrative format, which we did at the beginning of the year, kind of just starting a story. Description, sequence, compare and contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution, question and answer. So depending on your topic, what you guys end up choosing to write, your text structure is going to look different. All right. If I'm doing something where, maybe I am going to talk about dogs, I can maybe go the description route where I, describe my topic and I describe things about it. Or, maybe I'm going to compare and contrast two dogs. All right. Maybe I'm going to compare and contrast, I have a pit bull and an Australian Shepherd at home. Maybe I'm going to compare and contrast those. What does one do that the other can't, and vice versa. So kind of look at these text structures and get yourself familiar with them. And again, I also mentioned text features. All right, this is something we've kind of worked with informational writing and reading, but there's different text features that you can use in your feature article. These can just be things like print. Are you going to write in color? What font are you going to use? Using headings and subheadings as a way to organize your writing. Again, another way to organize, using a table of contents, or maybe a sidebar on the side, or are you going to box something off? And then we have graphics, which I know is something we used a lot with our infographic, using diagrams, charts, tables, maybe a timeline, depending on what you're doing there. And then naturally illustrations. What photos are you going to add to enhance your feature article? What are those going to look like? All right, so for today, we're going to follow our normal writing process. If you guys remember it, we're going to start with that immersion phase. We want to look at our mentor text to see what did they do that I can do in my own writing, because this is a good feature article, and we want to do what this author did so that our feature article looks just, not the same, but looks similar. All right, so on Canvas, for today's assignment. Oh gosh, I lost my paper. You are going to see a page at the top that says examining a feature article. All right. The feature article that you're going to examine is the astonishing canines. All right. You're going to look at this article and you're going to tell us about, the title, the author, what text features did they include in their own, maybe that are interesting or give you information. Then who's their audience? You might have to think about this one a little bit, and we'll dive into audience a little bit later this week, but who are they wanting to read this? Why are they writing this here? That goes into the purpose, and then that's something we're working on with reading right now. What details help you determine this purpose, all right, about why they are writing this? The hook, we've talked about this a lot in writing. How do they hook you in? How do they make you want to keep reading their writing? And then lastly, how do they conclude it? How do they wrap this up so that you're not leaving, wanting more or having questions? So take your time, read through this article. Probably the best way to do it, I would probably save it in PDF file cabinet so that you can kind of refer back to it as we go through this. These next 2 weeks, we're going to refer back to this a lot. And then for just today, Monday the 23rd, you guys are going to be filling this out. So if it's easiest to kind of download it and write on it, or, maybe you're somebody who prefers to write things out, maybe see if you can kind of copy this down on a piece of notebook paper and then take a picture. All right, you can copy this down exactly how it's on this paper and write it in your notebook if you would prefer. So whatever works for you guys, I want you to do that, okay? We're here to make this a good 2 weeks of writing so that we don't fall behind. Just like any other subject, reach out to Miss B and I if you have questions. Send us a message, comment, let us know where you're struggling so that we don't fall far behind. Miss B and I are, really quick to get a hold of. So if you have questions over something, if you're confused about what one of these things mean, let us know. All right. So this is for Monday, the 23rd, and then tomorrow we will have something additional for you. All right, good luck. Bye, guys.